Sorry about that video keep cutting off, but like I said, no one could really touch Tupac in his prime. Tupac in his prime was like one of the best rap artists. So let's start this video over because the other two cut off and I want to make sure it's all in one video. Tupac started his rap career in 1987. Now it wasn't until 1988 and 1989 when he hooked up with Digital Underground Digital, that he got his start. Now you know that rap song, "There goes the same song, dun 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 dun, there goes the same song. Women used to diss me, now they write love letters cause now they miss me." Well, he got his start with that. And then some time later, Tupac didn't really break away from the group, but he got his own album. Remember Tupacalypse? Well, Tupac did that. And then there were songs like Brenda's Got a Baby, you know, The Battle of a Dead Soldier. And then that song where Tupac had two songs about death. You know, Fear, you know, about being reincarnated. My Ambitions as a Rider. Those were some classic Tupac songs. And then, of course, by 1991, 1992, he became by far the most selling album, period. I mean, Tupac was doing movies, television shows, TV talk shows. You know, he had a chance to share a kiss with Janet Jackson. Not too many people get to do that in their rap career, you know. And Tupac even, you know, got the hookup with Notorious B.I.G., whose real name is Christopher Wallace. And they did some songs together on an album that never got released. And by this time period, Tupac got set up and got shot in 1993, and he managed to survive that. There was the rape charges, there was the sexual assault, and for almost 3 years, the man was in jail. And here's Notorious B.I.G. Making songs about the man, like "Who Shot You?" And for almost 2 to 3 years, you can't even get out of jail and get payback on your best friend for clowning you on the mic. You know, it's supposed to be your best friend, your road dog, and you getting clowns. Now, when he does get out of jail, he hooks up with Dr. Dre, arguably one of the greatest music producers of all times. You know, he does California Love. You know, him and Dr. Dre share Ain't Nothing But a Gangster Party. You know, it's Dre's beat, but Tupac writes his own lyrics. And this right here showed that Tupac don't need music producers to write his own songs. He can write his own songs. He can produce his own tracks. And that's what Tupac was basically doing in this time period. And in fact, Tupac decided to take it one step further, that songs like California Love and Ain't Nothing But a Gangster Party were just songs that were going to build up to the ultimate climax of him making Hit 'Em Up Part 1 and Part 2 of dissing Notorious B.I.G. You know, there's that story of him messing with Faith Evans, you know, trying to get inside the mind of Christopher Wallace to drive him insane. You know, Tupac had made some classic songs by this point. But, like always, we always have this thing that we call circumstances. When Tupac created the West Coast versus East Coast rivalry, you know, it's either you take Death Row or if you take Bad Boy Records. And Tupac created this element where he wanted to do his own thing, so they created Death Row East. And Death Row East was so he could do his own thing. By this time period, Tupac showed that he was good. And see, here's the thing. In Tupac's prime, could nobody touch Tupac in his prime? I mean, there were maybe 2 or 3 rappers on the West Coast that could match his style and his skill. He could rhyme because he was good at rhyming. He could do poetry. He would kill you on the mic if it was rhyming. If you needed him to be a lyricist, he would kill you when it comes to being a lyricist. If you wanted to just do freestyle battle rap, he'd murder you by doing freestyle battle rap. Tupac used to do all of that in Baltimore. He did that in New York City. And when he got to Los Angeles, he still was doing it. So Tupac could just come out with any style and murder you. And then, of course, Tupac never went to sleep. This man would go into a studio and drop 20 songs in 24 hours. And then the next day turn around and drop another 20 damn songs and have 2 albums in 1 year. It was unheard of to have a rapper in the history of the music industry come in this bitch and grind out 20 damn songs on 1 album, turn around and drop another 20 something. So anywhere between 40 to possibly 50 songs if you combine both albums. So when we heard the rumor in the 1990s that he did 2 albums in 1 year and they're almost 100 songs, that got us thinking Tupac worked his ass off. Tupac would smoke and drink and still do songs. While other rappers drop 2 or 3 songs and be done in 4 hours, Tupac spent the whole entire 24 hours doing 20 songs and then turn around the very next day and drop another 20 damn songs. And people be scratching their head like, does Tupac ever sleep? Does this man ever take a break? Tupac has so much energy, he can get on stage and the man could just be going back and forth, back and forth. The man would rap in the shower, rap in the restroom. He could be in the studio booth rapping. And Tupac would be rapping before he even get to the damn show. So he stayed in Tupac mode. He stayed ready to get on the stage. Now, tragically and disappointingly, it all came to an end in 1996. September 1996. Las Vegas, 1996. Getting shot, a whole bunch of times. And even after his death, he still had maybe 5, maybe 6, 7, 8 unreleased albums that he had done prior to his death. And you see, that's where the legend of Tupac continued. Even to this day, you got generations who never grew up listening to his music. They're wearing his t-shirts. They've got hats. They've got caps. They've got jackets. They've got sweaters. They've got all his albums. They know the words to all his songs. The man's been gone for about 21, 22, 23 plus years, and he still has a powerful effect on America. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Latino, Asian, mixed. People who have never even heard of this man has been listening to his music on the radio, on your cell phone, on an iPad, on an iPod, in your car, on iTunes, whatever bloody device you got. Somehow, some way, his music get onto your device, and whether you are a fan of hip-hop, gangster rap or not, once you hear the name Tupac, you know it's all about greatness. Now that I told you about the great Tupac Shakur, let's get on to Lil Wayne. Now, Lil Wayne got his start in 1993, 1994, at the age of 12 years old. Not too many people knew who the hell Lil Wayne was. He lived in New Orleans. And he hooked up with a guy named Baby Sam Williams or something like that, a.k.a. Baby, a.k.a. Birdman. And Cash Money Records was born. He was the youngest hip-hop star they had ever seen. LL Cool J at that time was the youngest to get signed to a rap label. And Lil Wayne was maybe 1 to 2 years a little bit younger than LL Cool J, who, by the way, I will have LL in a future video. So, yeah, LL will be in this series. DMX will be in this series. Snoop will be in this series. Marlon Manson, Rob Zombie, Korn, Saliva, Disturbed. All those people are going to be in this series, so chill out. Your favorite artist might pop up in my series. 10 to 11 videos. 1 video at a time, America. 1 video at a time. So anyway, Lil Wayne hooks up, and he gets with who? Cash Money Records. Juvenile, BG, Young Turk. There was a guy named Slim, and they created Cash Money Records. And the rest, as they say, is history. Now, he started off being a freestyle rapper, and then he transitioned into a lyricist rapper. And then it wasn't until 1999 that he outshined the whole group. And by 2001, he became by far the most interesting rapper of the decade. He just came in at a point where there was nobody else. 50 Cent was, 50 Cent popped up on the scene, but Lil Wayne was the man. And by 2004, he had hot ass songs that people nod their head. You know, Fireman, Lollipop, Pop Bottles. You know, let's not forget he made a song about cough syrup. Yeah, he made songs about Jesus, and he made songs about weed. And a lot of people just have this huge a fascination for Lil Wayne. I mean, the guy's popped out 6 albums, 5 of them are the Carter, and each one went platinum, triple platinum before anybody even heard the songs on the radio. He had already was rich, and now he's 10 times richer. Or, well, he ain't broke and he ain't lost a whole lot of money because he's been in television shows, he's been in small movie roles, and he does go to the basketball games, the football games, and people seem to like Lil Wayne. You know, they even made him into a cartoon character, a couple of episodes of South Park, and you know, stuff like that. But he's popular and well known, and people seem to love them some Lil Wayne. Now, on the other hand, I like Lil Wayne when he first started out. You know, the last 3 albums he put out, I wasn't really feeling those last 3 albums. You know, after he did the Carter 1 and the Carter 2, and he kind of decided he wanted to go into radio play direction. That's what they call it, radio play. You know, I wasn't really feeling the game. I wasn't really feeling him as much. And then he started coming out with all these funny different songs. Now, he did succeed where Tupac didn't get the chance. He did get his own record label, Young Money Records, where he got to sign Nicki Minaj. He got to have Drake. And you could see the comparison between their styles. Now, he's still by far is the best rapper out of all of them. Now, let's get to the compare and contrast. Who really is better and why? Tupac, in his prime, there isn't anyone that can touch Tupac. Ice Cube can come close. Snoop could come close to that magnitude. But there really wasn't anyone that could really beat Tupac. And if there was, it could end in a tie. I mean, Tupac in his prime, you're not going to find someone in the studios that can drop 20 songs, turn around 24 hours later and drop another 20 songs, and then by the end of the week give you damn near 50 damn songs, if not 100. Like, Tupac would be trying to make 2 albums or 4 albums in a month if you let him. There were times where Suge Knight had to look at Tupac and go, let's go to the nightclub, man, you work too much. Lil Wayne was someone that would drop maybe 2, 3, 4 songs in 3 hours and his album was finished. And then maybe 4 months later, Lil Wayne be back in the studio and drop another 5 albums and his album was finished. So who's really better? Tupac? You're not going to find somebody like Tupac. Like, to find a Tupac, it'd be like damn near 50 years before you find another Tupac. And even then, you won't find another Tupac. Lil Wayne, you could find plenty of artists like Lil Wayne. Like, people compare Drake. There's 2 Chainz. There's Wiz Khalifa. They all are, I don't want to say imitation knockoffs of Lil Wayne, but they're all another version of Lil Wayne. Tupac, it is hard for you to find you another Tupac. Like, no matter how hard you try, you can't find you a Tupac. Lil Wayne, you can find plenty of Lil Waynes. So I would say by a huge margin, and I know a lot of Lil Wayne fans are probably going to dumb down this video and shit, and I know a lot of Tupac fans going to come into the comment section and defend this video. Tupac, by a big margin, still beats and edge out Lil Wayne. Even if you took Tupac from the 90s and you dropped Tupac into 2000, he would do the same exact thing tenfold. I mean, with Tupac didn't just become good. Tupac took average rappers and made them better than anyone could ever make them. Lil Wayne has done that with some artists, but unfortunately, what I just said, you can find plenty of Lil Waynes. Tupac, you can only find one Tupac. So this is the first episode of my series. I apologize, the bloody video is way too long, but I made the video for a reason. It's the first episode. Usually the first episode's usually difficult. Until next time, peace.